So tell us why you felt making this documentary was
Well, I thought it was a good idea because I think that we sort of are hitting this cultural all-time low in some ways, and everybody thinks things are harmless, and they might be to a certain extent, but I think it's a good idea to kind of sort of step back and look at the forest or the trees and evaluate where you're really placing value, and is it really where you want to be placing value?
in a way you're trying to change the world.
No, listen, we don't think we're curing cancer with this film. We don't. We're very clear about that. But we do think it's, listen, the degradation of our hard news is happening on our watch. We have so many entertainment segments instead of really informative information about the world that we live in. And I think that's not okay. Personally, for myself, I'm insulted when I turn on, the evening news, like prime time, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I want to really know what's happening,
When you were watching the interviews with celebrities who were interested in whomever, what were you most surprised to hear them say?
That's a good question. Actually, when we were interviewing the celebrities, I will tell you, I was. Let me start that over. When we interviewed the celebrities, 9 times out of 10, I left the room at the end of the day feeling like in some ways I have more quality of life than they do. On a day in, day out basis. I can go and come and, you know what I mean? Like there's no restrictions, there's no issues, and nobody's taking pictures of me looking like hell in the morning because I haven't put my makeup on. And that's really nice that stuff isn't out there. So, but I was surprised at how much they trusted us. Because no one wants to hear somebody they perceive to be walking away with a sack full of millions complaining about how hard their life is. And I actually don't think that that's what they did. We asked them some very direct, pointed questions, and they gave us some very direct answers. And, their lives are taken out of context regularly. The photos of their lives, things that they say, and they trusted us to not do that, to not take their words out of context.
I thought it was very interesting. I only have seen the trailer, but I did hear somebody say, I know I asked for this life.
Yes, Kid Rock said that, and I'll tell you, yes, Kid Rock said, I asked for this. And if you think about when he got into it and how he got into it, he knew what he was getting himself into. You take someone like Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick, they came up on the regional theater circuit up and down the East Coast. So for them, they just wanted to be in theater, they just wanted to act. It wasn't about, do you know what I mean? The glitz and glamour, and it wasn't, so they didn't really get into it that way. So for them, they actually didn't know that they would find themselves in the place they're in. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure their lives are really wonderful and rich, and they seem like very happy, and they have, a lovely family. But, they're both New Yorkers, and they loved being able to, the idea of raising their kids there and giving them that rich cultural experience. And that's what they struggle with, trying to actually make that happen for their kids versus leaving and just sequestering themselves somewhere where they don't have to deal with it, but then their kids aren't exposed to the wealth of everything that you get when you're in New York.
Great. Thank you so much.
No problem.